Yo, make some noise for D-Lo. That's D-Lo. Early in the morning with that D-Lo Ski Show. It's early and it's time for the D-Lo Ski Show, so you know. Early.
What's poppin', people? This is your boy D-Lo. One stack. And this is just a small morning show, man, to figure out, do we know our rights? Do we know our amendments? You know what I'm saying? Like which ones is important to you, and do you understand them? It's good to know our laws um, in this world because so many of our rights be abused, and we don't even know they're being abused because we don't know our rights. So this segment, this show, this morning show will be about knowing our rights, which ones are important to you, and do you understand them, and do you know how to go by using those the right way? So let's get into this morning show. Hopefully everybody is doing good. You know what I'm saying? Here in Ohio, it has snowed. It's ridiculous because it is springtime, and I don't understand why it's still snowing, but it is what it is. We live by and die by what we go through every day. Today is a day that I really don't like in April because 5 years ago on this day, an hour ago, my mother passed. So this is a day that I try to feed my mind with positive stuff because it's a hard one for me, and not only for me but my family. So I just decided to do a show today to try to ease my mind and talk to y'all for a second. So, uh, what laws do you guys, go by, and do you understand what amendments really mean something to you? Because, like I said, a lot of our rights, every day be abused and used in a way that we don't understand, and sometimes we don't understand it because we don't know our laws. So I'm going to read some that's important to me, and I'm quite sure they will be important to y'all. And just try to educate a little bit, what I'm saying, just by speaking. For those who watching, I appreciate y'all coming by and watching. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing this for views, likes, or anything to get anybody to lean towards my way because I see a lot of things that go on in YouTube that's crazy, but this is part of YouTube, you know what I'm saying? But I look at each individual in this sector as a king or a queen, you know what I'm saying? A human. We all bleed the same. We all go through similar pains, similar um, views of life and things like that. Key Day, man, what's popping? So I'm just on some grown adult speaking shit right now. So y'all bear with me. For those who want to stay around, stick around. For those who want to leave, leave. For those who want a thumbs up, thumbs up. Who want to thumbs down, thumbs down. Uh, it is what it is with me. I'm going to keep it 1,000 as always. You know what I'm saying? And keep it real. So the First Amendment that we as Americans supposed to go by, which I don't believe this is the land of the free, home of the brave. I don't believe in that because nothing is free. Uh, we let people into our into America to humiliate us, disrespect us, kill us, uh, figure out ways to bomb us and things like that. And we sit around and speak about these certain situations and views, and nothing ever gets done, or we just argue over petty things like who fucking who's talking to who's doing this, who's doing that, which that a lot of that doesn't even matter, but it matters to certain people. You know what I'm saying? This world is so stuck on violence and fuckery that they don't congratulate things that's important or support things that really have meaning, not only to you, but to others. So, the First Amendment is freedom of religion, speech, press, assembly, and petition. I take that one seriously because I feel everybody has the right to speak their mind. I feel our voice is our greatest weapon, and we're supposed to use our voice the way we want to because of freedom of speech. So when people speak about certain issues or certain views or certain situations, you got to take it with a grain of salt and not get upset because it's their freedom of speech. They have the right to speak what they feel, and then you have the right to rebuttal it or say things that you feel. And if a person don't agree with it, then it's to a point where you don't have to try to harm that person because of their views on that situation. Y'all give me 1 second. 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, so, in every situation, you have to understand that people have the right to speak their mind, what I'm saying? Because everybody is not gonna have the same views that you have. And you have to understand that. And once you understand that, it can be a better communication skills. And some people it's hard to communicate with, but you as a person should understand what type of person you is and how you communicate, and don't really let uh the situation get under your skin to where it affects your thoughts or your well-being. So I respect that fact of the First Amendment, and then you also got uh the Second Amendment, which I feel that is very important to all of us. But the way this world is working now, it is not important to America because they don't go by the First or the Second Amendment. To me, what I'm saying, the Second Amendment is the rights to keep and bear arms. You know, that right there is very important to all us because when it comes to the law, the police per se, you know, um, they supposed to protect and serve. They don't, I'm not gonna say all of them don't protect and serve, but most of them, what I'm saying, do not protect and serve. Their whole thing is to come to a call or a situation, and they supposed to diffuse it the best way they can. And the only way they're diffusing situation now is to kill. And it doesn't matter if you have that right to bear arms. It doesn't matter if you have your CCWs. You have all the credentials showing these so-called officers that protect and serve that you have the right to bear this arm. And as soon as they see a black male with these type of credentials to where he can carry firearms just as well as them, they get afraid. Not only afraid of the firearm, but they're afraid of men of color, men with dreads, men that are bigger than them. You know what I'm saying? Men who have the First Amendment down pat, and that's freedom of speech. People who are not afraid to challenge their authority, their so-called authority. Police to me is just another gang. You know what I'm saying? They are a gang with badges that the world so-called respect, and they are a gang with firearms. They do what they want to do. They say what they want to say. They disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? And they feel like when they say something to you, you're supposed to listen. Okay, it's certain things, that it's okay to listen to when it comes to the law. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, they have to respect the fact of your rights. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't know your rights, they will disrespect and abuse your rights in front of your face without you even knowing. You know what I'm saying? So you have to know your rights, and you have to know what you can and what you can't do. The same thing that the same thing that they do and the way they speak, you could do the same thing. You can do the same thing because you have your rights. So the First Amendment and the Second Amendment is very important to understand and know, and people could do their own research on it, you know what I'm saying? But you have to understand your rights in this world more now than ever, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's a big thing in the urban communities, the black communities, you know what I'm saying? A lot of them don't know their rights. A lot of black people in urban communities, they know more songs by heart than they know their own fucking rights. You know what I'm saying? How many people that you think you can walk up to and you say, "Hey, what's the Fifth Amendment?" and they won't know unless they look it up. You know what I'm saying? People don't know their rights, so they don't know, when they're being abused or disused. You know what I'm saying? So it's amazing to me the way it goes because back then it was more easier to make friends. It was more easier to learn things. It was everybody wasn't in a category, and if they were in a category, you know what I'm saying, as a young child, as a young teen, we didn't know about the categories that we were in because that didn't matter. Jafine was popping. That didn't matter. You know what I'm saying? What I mean by that is, I can remember days when I can go, when I was younger and I stayed on one block and I can go 9 blocks over and there's other kids playing basketball and I can just join in and play basketball without them even knowing me. And then then within the next 2, 3 hours or the end of the day, I have made 3 or 4 more friends. And it didn't matter what I wore or who I knew or, if I was in the streets, anything like that. But now in this millennium and the kids that's growing up now, you have to be in a category. You know what I'm saying? If you're not in a certain category, you cannot be my friend. And that's ridiculous to me, you know what I'm saying? But we have to understand that everything changes just like the season. Everything changes. You know what I'm saying? And as an adult with children, and going through the things that I went through, I understand that we have to let kids be teens, you know what I'm saying? But that's the biggest thing that's going on now. Kids are not being teens. They're trying to be adults before their time. And when you try to be an adult before your time, it's two results, prison or death. And we see that every day. You know what I'm saying? I think no parent should have to bury their child, you know what I'm saying, before they even pass. You know what I'm saying? So it comes to a point where I understand life a lot more because on this day of April 5 years ago, my mom passed. A day before that, I didn't give a fuck about death at all. I didn't give a fuck about life at all. I didn't care about the views of life. I just was living my life the way it came to me. And I never tried to utilize the time that I had. A view was popping. Thanks for stopping by. I never tried to utilize the time that I had, and I never understand all the time that I was wasting, not giving a fuck about life. You know what I'm saying? Just living day by day, waking up every day, doing the same thing over and over and not trying to explore what this world has to offer. So as I got older, I started seeing things, not only things that I have done, but the things that my friends have done, my things that family members have done, and how much those things they have done affected other people's lives or affected our lives. You know what I'm saying? So I always try to think of a way to affect people's lives in a positive way. Stop doing the things that I was doing that affected people's lives in a negative way. I was I was into the selling of drugs. I was into the gang life. I was into, the fights and the negative things of this life. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you can't bypass it because it comes to you. Thanks, Key dead man. Sometimes you can't avoid some of those things because they just jumps right in front of you. But there's a lot of ways that you can handle a lot of things by knowing your rights. You know what I'm saying? Basically, sitting back and knowing who you are and the things that you need to do to make your life better, and not only your life but your children. Once you have kids, you have to understand that your life doesn't even matter anymore. The only thing that matters in your life is how you can make self better and happy to be able to make your kids better and happy, to make your kids have a vision. If you as a parent don't have a vision, then your kids won't have a vision, and the division that your kids will get will be coming from the internet, the media, or somebody outside of your home. You know what I'm saying? And once it gets deep and they don't want to listen to the things that you do or say, then it's just a lost cause. You know, you can't let it get too deep to where you don't be nosy when it comes to your children, because it's a lot of things that goes on in this world that people need to understand, that our kids is our future, and if we let them, just roam and do whatever they want to do, then when you do try to send some type of authority their way, they're not going to listen. You cannot be your child's friend all the time. You have to separate the friendship and the parenting. You have to know when to parent and when to be a friend. You know what I'm saying? They need that stability. They need that. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't know how to have that stability, then you're not going to be able to control your child. And these are just my views. You know what I'm saying? Just me speaking on how I feel about our rights in certain situations. So if we go to, I could speak to other amendments, but I'm just going to go to the ones that's important to me. The third one is no lodging troops in private homes. But the first and the second one is very important to me. Was the first one was freedom of religion and speech. The second was right to keep and bear arms. And the third one is no lodging troops in private homes. And the Fourth Amendment is no unlawful search and seizure. That's another one that we all need to understand and go by faithfully. What's up, Kimmy Dow? Um, the Fourth Amendment. No unlawful search or seizure. This happens all the time. You know what I'm saying? To where an officer might get called to a home, or an officer might pull you over, and they try to uh they try to do certain things to give them a reason to search, but it's unlawful. Most of the time when it comes to a search and seizure, when you are officer, you have to have something in plain view. It's When I was going to school for criminal justice, it's called plain view. And that's okay. I'll give you a perfect example. An officer pulls you over, and you have a blunt or a joint in your ashtray. And when they walk up to ask you for your license or registrations, and they see that residue or that blunt or whatever in plain view, they have the right to search. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't have anything in plain view to give them a reason to search, and they try to give their self a reason to search, then it's unlawful. That means your rights has been disrespected and abused. And when that happens, you have to speak up. That goes back to the First Amendment, freedom of speech. You have to let them know that you know your rights. You know what I'm saying? Even when they stop you and they searching the inside of your vehicle, your trunk is still under those rights. You know what I'm saying? So you have to know your rights at all times. You know what I'm saying? And if you know them, you speak them. I know people have seen a lot of videos where you have seen individuals challenge officers of the law speaking their rights right back to them, and the police bag the fuck off because they know your rights. You know what I'm saying? So it's certain things. Elm City was popping. It's certain things that we have control over that we don't even know that we have control over because we don't know our rights. We have to know our rights. You know what I'm saying? And I know when it comes to this YouTube shit, that a lot of people don't want to be around positive shows or around things that doesn't deal with the fuckery. But I'm always going to be the type of person that stay in my own lane and respect others and do what D-Lo want to do. And I always try to talk to my audience or people that has always came to my shows so they can know what type of person I am. You know what I'm saying? And then they can be judgmental on the things that I speak about or the way I carry myself or anything like that. Then I wouldn't mind for a person to judge me. But for a person to judge me and not knowing who I am as a person, I don't think that's cool. Key Dan Man said, I've called out male officer for searching females. Yes, that's another thing that that females have to understand that a male police officer, uh it's not right for them to search you. You know what I'm saying? You have to, if a male police officer um stops you, you can ask for a female officer. Doesn't matter if she's a crackhead, call a female officer. Doesn't matter if she's a crackhead, call a female. Yeah, you have to let them know, hey, I don't want you to search me. I want a female officer to search me. Because you have this thing where they call, uh, I mean, it's just to the point where what female that it's probably some in the world, but I'm just saying what female that a civilized female that will want a male police officer, grabbing her breasts or, digging down the back of her pockets or, in front of her private part. It's just they would feel uncomfortable. So it's best for you to have them notify a female officer to come to the scene to search you. But yeah, we got to know that. So even if a police officer is called to your home and say you let the first officer in for the situation that you are in, and your door is still open, your door's open and your screen door is closed, and you have another officer pull up and they just walk in your house, you have the right to tell that police officer to go back out your house and knock on a door before they come in. You have that right. I have done it before. You know what I'm saying? I have been in a situation where one of my foster kid had, ran away, and our protocol is to call the police and report it to the agency. And when they did that, the officers came to my home. Two officers was allowed to come in, but they were doing shift change, so they had to wait till the other officers came to the scene. And when they did come to the scene, the officer just walked into my house, and I told him, "Hold on, uh, can you please step back out my house and knock on the door to be let in?" And he asked me, "What did I say?" And I said, "I did not stutter. I said, turn around, walk out my door, knock on my door, and then I will tell you if you are able to enter or not enter." Now, at that time, the officer that I was speaking to was he was ranked over the police officers that was already in the house. So he was upset. He was very upset, but he knew I knew my rights. So what do y'all think he had to do? He turned around and he went right back outside my door and knocked on the screen door, and I said, "Now you may enter." But when he came in, he was so upset that I knew my rights and I made him turn around in front of his colleagues and everything like that. He still was acting like an asshole. So when he came in, he addressed my foster child as, who is this chick? What is this chick name? And I stopped him again. I said, she is not a chick. Her name is such and such, and you're going to address her by her first name, or you can just leave. So it's certain things that you have to understand when it comes to your rights. You can't let them talk to you any type of way or treat you any type of way, because we are adults and humans as well as them. And once they shift is over and they go home to be a parent. They go home to be a husband. They go home to be a boyfriend or a wife or anything like that. And they demand respect from individuals in their life. So why not demand that in your life? Keep them in. If stopped by a male officer, you can keep driving to the precinct. Yeah, you can keep driving to the precinct, but at the same time, what if that precinct is 10 miles away? You know what I'm saying? And you continue to drive and drive and drive, and then they turn that traffic stop into a high speed chase, where they saying you're on a high speed chase, or they're going to try to charge you with so many different charges that it'd be better off just to stop somewhere where it's a lot of people or where it's a lot of light. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to unlock your door. You don't have to roll your window all the way down. You have to yeah, it doesn't matter, but at the same time, the way this lifetime goes and the things that's going on, they're going to do something to make you have to do some type of jail time or something to try to ruin your life. So I think it's better to stop in a location where it's a lot of light and it's well known people around, so it can be, you can have witnesses. Your defense is, I was afraid and he was a male. Yes, that is your defense. That is your defense. But of course they're going to, I'm telling you, Key, they're going to try to rebuttal that to, you should have still stopped. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna try to make you out to be the bad person, even though you were afraid. You know what I'm saying? Your afraid is different from their afraid. When you're afraid, it's wrong. When they're afraid, it's right. This is proof. This is facts. You know what I'm saying? Whenever they kill an unarmed black male or an unarmed person, period, the first thing they say was, I was afraid. And every time they say I was afraid, they get off. So if we say we are afraid, they're going to say you still supposed to obey the law. So what they're basically saying is you're wrong for being afraid. And that's not right. But that's the way the life is going. B. Harris was popping. B. Harris said, I'm a male police officer. I'm going to strip search every female in this chat. Okay, we get it. But carrying on to more of our rights, the First Amendment, Second Amendment, and the Fourth is very important to me. Um, the Fifth Amendment is basically got to do with a lot of due process, criminal proceeding, double jeopardy, no self incrimination. You know what I'm saying? So that's basically got to do with the court system. You know what I'm saying, about no double jeopardy, um, no self incrimination. You know what I'm saying? That's basically when they read you your rights, and you know, you don't want to self incriminate yourself by speaking. You know what I'm saying, without a lawyer or anything like that. So that's the Fifth Amendment, which you can use that all the time. My sister is an attorney. I was sue. Hey, I'm just saying, it's a lot of processes, you know what I'm saying? But it's just good to know your rights, and that's why I'm doing this show, and just speaking with the people about something that we really need to understand and know. So the Fifth Amendment is basically criminal proceedings, right? I mean, yeah, proceedings, your guarantees to due process, the no double jeopardy, and the no self incrimination. Sixth Amendment is basically right to a speedy trial. Must inform the defendant of their charges. Your right to attorney. The right to a fair jury. So that's kind of like the Fifth and the Sixth Amendment is kind of like uh tick for tack, but it's more got to do with court issues. You know what I'm saying? Knowing your rights as far as your court issues, knowing that when you get stopped by a police officer or anything like that, before you even make it to the county jail or whatever, they have to let you know what you are being charged with. Even when they pull you over and they take you out of the vehicle, or even if they're trying to take you out the vehicle, you ask that one big question: am I being detained? And then when you ask them, am I being detained? And they say no, then your rights of you not getting out that vehicle still is in process. And if they do tell you you are being detained and you get out, you ask them what is the reason I'm being detained? What have I done to be detained? You know, you ask them questions like, do you feel threatened? Am I threatening you? You know what I'm saying? And those things are very, very important. You know, those things are very, very important. The Seventh Amendment is basically a lot about court issues, you know what I'm saying? Trial by jury in civil cases, where value exceeds $20. You know, basically if somebody go steals a pop or something, anything that exceeds over 20 is trial. You know, you can do a trial by jury in civil case. Eighth Amendment, no excessive bail or fines, no cruel or unusual punishments, which that happens all the time. That happens all the time. Cruel punishments. You have some people that's in higher positions in the law that might have hatred towards a certain issue. You know, and I've seen a lot of black males go through cruel and unlawful punishment. And when you deal with uh, judges, attorneys, you know, and people that have certain hatred towards certain issues, and you might be in a certain situation where they hate the issue, they're going to try to give you the whole book without even looking at you as a human and understanding that we have a law that says you are innocent until proven guilty. But you got so many individuals that see a person in a certain situation and prove and look at them as guilty before they even prove anything. You know what I'm saying? So that goes against you a lot when a person look at you and say, "Oh, they're guilty," before they even prove or have any type of proof. Yolanda, what's popping? So yeah, that's the Eighth Amendment. So we went through the First through Eighth Amendment. The first was the freedom of religion, speech, press, assembly, and petition. Everybody has a freedom of speech. Everybody has a freedom of being under what religion they want to be under. You know, the Second Amendment was right to keep and bear arms. The third, we didn't talk a lot about, but like I said, I'm speaking about the ones that's more important to me and maybe important to y'all. But the third one was no lodging troops in private homes. The Fourth Amendment was no unlawful search and seizure. The fifth and sixth and the seventh and eighth all have to deal with court issues. The fifth was criminal proceedings, guarantees due process, no double jeopardy, no self-incrimination. The sixth was criminal proceeding, right to speedy trial and fair trial. Must inform defendant of charges, right to attorney, and right to fair jury. The seventh was trial by jury in civil cases where value exceeds over 20. The eighth was no excessive bails or fines, no cruel or unusual punishment. So those right there is just all of them is very important. They do the 13, 14, and 15. I will be getting to that. I'm speaking about all our rights on this segment. Um, yes, I only have eight watching, and it's wonderful. That's eight people that wants to enlighten their mind on what I'm speaking about. So it doesn't matter if I have eight or I have 1,000 watching. Those eight people is listening because it's interesting to them, and maybe it's not interesting to you, but you are here still trying to convince me that I only have 8 people watching and that's supposed to be mean something. Um, go over to Kevin's show. It's smoking. Anybody that wants to go to anything negative or don't want to be here, they don't have to be here. I'm not forcing them. They have a right to do that. So let me keep going. Let's go to. I'm really not going to talk too much about the Ninth Amendment because not all individual rights are listed in the Constitution. Um, the 10th Amendment amendment is power reserved to the states, limit the powers of federal government. 11th Amendment is the suits against states. 12th Amendment requires separate electoral ballots for president and vice president. The 13th, abolish slavery. Abolish slavery. Um, L. Rossi on his show yesterday. Abolish slavery. Everything that we go through nowadays, it doesn't matter. Uh, it got a lot to do with slavery. It has a lot to do with slavery. Our workplace is slavery. Even though we have to work, it's still some type of slavery. The prisons are very much slavery. It's just done in a legal way. Once they get you inside the system, once you get a number that the system says, hey, I can find this person by this number, even the social security number, all that is slavery, you know. But I really don't want to talk too much about slavery. I mean, we all know how it goes when it comes to slavery. So that was the 12th. The 13th amendment was abolish slavery. The 14th Amendment is something that we all see. It's something that Donald Trump is trying to stop. It's something that President Obama uh, actually embraced, and that's to grant citizenship to all persons born or naturalized in the United States. If it forbids any state to deny any person life, liberty, or property without due process of law, or to deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of its law. Um, that's very important as a right and amendment. But when it comes to our amendments, they don't give a fuck about this shit. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's another big reason why a lot of people don't give a fuck about it because it seems like it doesn't pertain to us. It never did pertain to us. But as you grow up and you start to see views in your own way, then you'll understand a lot of things as you do your research and you read about certain things, then your views will change. Your views will change. A lot of things change anyways, but your views will change. Um, the 15th Amendment, no denying right to vote, race, color. You know, I look at that one as I don't believe in that one because they like I said, they don't believe in anything. You know what I'm saying? Like if you a felon, you know what I'm saying, they say you don't have a right to vote. You know what I'm saying? I think every vote counts, but at the same time, I feel that they already know who they want to be president, vice president, senate, all that stuff. I think they already have that set. You know what I'm saying? Uh it's just the cover over your eyes to make it seem like your vote means something or your opinion means something, but it really doesn't. Uh, the 16th Amendment, Congress can tax income directly. 17th, popular election of senators. 18, prohibition of alcohol. 19, can't be deprived the right to vote based on sex. Let's see. I mean, I can go on and on with this. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, amendments 1, 2, 4. Uh, it's just certain ones that I feel that we should always pay attention to, understand, know. when they're being abused, because we worry about so many different things that doesn't even matter. You know what I'm saying? Small things to become big things, and a lot of people go by the big things. You know what I'm saying? They think the big things are more important, but it's really the small things. Yeah, it's okay. Like let's take college for example. They make they taught us that college is the best thing in the world. It's the best thing to do. College will get you by in life. College will do this. College will do that. College will give you the best job. College will make sure that your livelihood will just be great. And it's a setup. College only puts you in debt because once you get that degree and you try to get that job that you have, I'll be in there in a minute, baby. Um, Once you get that degree and you go try to get that job that you always dreamed of or thought of being a part of, here comes the debt. You owe the school $30,000 for going to college, $40,000. It's people right now that's in their 50s that's still paying these debts off to even get by in life. You know what I'm saying? So I really think it's better to go for trades than an actual degree. And that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. But like I said, I'm not gonna make this long. I just want to come and sit and speak to you all for a second about do we know our rights. But I do want to know for those individuals that's in the chat room that want to interact with me right now, the eight that is watching. Which rights are important to you? Which amendments are important to you? Before I leave out of here, I want to know your opinions on your rights and which ones are important to you. And have they ever been violated and you knew they were violated, didn't say anything, or have they ever been violated and you have said something? For those who want to speak on that, before I get out of here, you are welcome to do so. If not, then this small segment of D-Lo's morning show will be over with. I appreciate everybody for coming and speaking. For those who were speaking on the situation and for those who wasn't, what I'm saying, y'all all are appreciated. Everything is all good. I hope y'all day be progressive, positive, um, and blessed. Other than that, your boy D-Lo is out. You know what I'm saying? I will be coming back with shows, man. It's just I have a lot of things to do. And then, sometimes when I do get on YouTube, I watch a few minutes of certain people's shows, or I might go to people lives and, just fuck around in the chat room, but it's so much going on that I know this type of show would never get no love. You know what I'm saying? But it won't stop me from doing it. It's just I choose my time wisely and when to do it. Yolanda, thanks. Key Deadman said free speech and right to bear arms. Yes, those are my two main things that I go by now more than ever because everything everything has changed. Yolanda said home comes before YouTube. Some people don't understand that. Yes, they don't. Cocoa Butter was popping queen. Um, I mean, like I don't knock nobody that do what they do. You know what I'm saying? If YouTube is something that people do 24/7, you know, I don't knock it. Maybe that's their comfort zone. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's something that keeps them sane. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, like I don't expect everybody to think like I think because that would just be uncivilized. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a more humble person than I ever been since my mom passed. And this day right here is a hard one for me. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like speaking to others. You know what I'm saying? And I won't call y'all strangers because I mean, I have talked to Key Dead Man, and that's just over the video game, and she seems like a lovely person. Cocoa Butter has always came to my chat. Yolanda, Jafine, certain people, you know what I'm saying, and these people have never disrespected me, internet wise. You know what I'm saying? So I respect them just as much as they respect me. I appreciate that, Coco. Um, but I just try to stay humble, you know what I'm saying? Because I remember once in my life where I wasn't humble. I didn't give a fuck about shit. I didn't give a fuck about how a person felt. You know what I'm saying? I just was living life the wrong way, you know what I'm saying? And now I think before I do. You know what I'm saying? I think before I speak. I try not to let too many things get me in my feelings. I know what type of person I am, so I continue to be the person that I am. I don't let no one control my thoughts or my feelings or the way that I want to. I know it's a lot of genuine people in this sector. You know what I'm saying? But it's it's a big game to people. You know what I'm saying? And I understand it all. But when it starts to linger off into people's livelihood and fuck with people's livelihood and mess up people's livelihood, then that's a totally different ball game. And that's something that I just don't condone in or I don't want to be a part of. Cocoa Butter said, life has a way of humbling us all. Yes, it does. Yolanda, I'm glad you decided to change to a better way. Yes, I had to change because I'll probably end up dead or in prison. But I don't like what I did in the past, as far as the crimes that I committed and things that I did. I don't like that. So once I had my child, I just changed a lot of things in my life because I felt that, they don't ask to be here. I have to be a father. You know what I'm saying? I have to make sure that they have an opportunity to live their life. And the only way they can have an opportunity to live their life if me as a father, stick around and make sure that they have a wonderful life. You know what I'm saying? I have to show my kids that I'm humble. I have to show my kids that I make mistakes. I have to show my kids that it's okay to make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? So I try to do things like that to stay humble. You know, I don't understand how some people can just not be around their children, not be around family. It's some people in the family that, you hate to be around, you hate to see them coming, but one thing I would like people to understand is you only get one chance. First of all, you get one set of parents. No matter what you went through with your parents, you know what I'm saying? At some point, you have to reconcile. Just do it for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Do it for yourself. You know what I'm saying? You know, I had the opportunity to be around my mother and my father. You know what I'm saying? And I only have my father left. You know what I'm saying? And me and my father, we didn't have always have good times. We had bad times. You know what I'm saying? And he wasn't always around, but he did what he could to keep me, um, knowing that he loved me. You know what I'm saying? And he cared for me. You know what I'm saying? Me and my dad have good relationship. I talk to him all the time. And we talk about, the things that he could have done back then, to make our relationship a little bit better. But like I told him, I'm a grown man now. You know what I'm saying? I don't hold grudges. So I don't hold grudges with nobody. If I have a beef with somebody, at that moment, the heat of the moment, yes, I dislike that person. I want to hurt this person. I want to do everything to them. You know what I'm saying? But as days go by, I'm not that type of person anymore. I'm more humble. You know what I'm saying? So those things go away, and I have a more comfortable bone in my body to speak to that person again. You know what I'm saying? It might not never be the same, you know what I'm saying? But I still would have that much respect for myself to not hold a grudge to every time I see a person I dislike them and this and that. No, because I don't want nobody to do that to me or dislike me because I'm not the type of person that's going to harm you to the point where it'll leave a family you know, in tears or in pain. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, this just was something that I wanted to know if people knew their rights, or do they know their rights, and do they know when it's being abused or disrespected. You know what I'm saying? But I always end my shows, or most of my shows, saying when you wake up in the morning, judge the person in the mirror before you judge yourself. You know what I'm saying? And everybody stay up. Like I said, I appreciate every last person that came here to listen to the show. You know, try to be humble as much as you can. Try to be positive as much as you can. We all understand that negativity is going to be around. It's always going to be around. No matter where we go, no matter where we live, it's always going to be crime. It's always going to be fuckery. But you have a choice. You have a choice to be a part of it, or you have a choice not to be a part of it. Just because you listen or you are in chat rooms doesn't mean that you're a part of it. Just means that you are, maybe going in to speak to other people. You know what I'm saying? It's just everybody has different views, and you have to understand that everybody has different views. You know what I'm saying? And different ways that they think. But don't never let nobody drag you into being something that you know that you are not. Other than that, y'all stay up. You know what I'm saying? Peace and blessing. Grand risings to everybody that has woke up today, and are able to say good morning to their children, to their family members, to friends, to colleagues, you know what I'm saying, that's able to get up and move around with their own able body strength. You know what I'm saying? That is a blessing. You know what I'm saying? Everybody hold their head up, man. Quit worrying about so much negative things. The small things matters more than the big things. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to continue my day um, of trying to be positive and not think about so many negative things. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, my mom passed on this day, so I'm going to keep my mind busy. I'm going to do some schoolwork. I probably pop on my video game, play a little bit of my video game. Might go make some breakfast for my children. You know what I'm saying? Just keep myself positive. I don't want to release any more balloons on this day. I've done it too many times. Um, so I'm just gonna do something different. You know what I'm saying? I really don't like doing a lot of things the same way. I like trying to do something different every time, but if my kids want to release balloons, I will go buy balloons, you know what I'm saying, to release. But I just feel like that's something that we don't have to do all the time, you know. Okay, in top demand, what's popping? I was about to make a video to address something. Yolanda, freedom of speech, freedom of speech. Um, Cocoa butter, no doubt, man. I'm always out here to try to spread a message. Like I said, I'm not the best person in the world. I have my flaws. Everybody has skeletons in their closet. You know what I'm saying? I'm not afraid of my skeletons. You know what I'm saying? I'm not afraid to speak. I'm not afraid to challenge anything. I just try to challenge only the things that I want to challenge. Um, Peace and blessings to you also, Queen. Um, he did, man. I appreciate that. Might see you on Fortnite in a little bit. But all y'all, please stay up. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, judge the person in the mirror before you judge yourself. It's all virtual love over here. You know what I'm saying? And y'all stay up. Now, I was about something said this week, but I feel it's not worth getting upset over. Okay. Like I said, anybody that's gonna do a show, if I'm on, I get on and you know, participate, support, do my thumbs up and everything. Because on some real speech right now, um, I really wasn't thumbsing up a lot of people shows anything because I just wasn't doing it. I never thumbs down anybody show. I just start thumbsing up people shows and stuff like that. But yeah, getting involved in the fuckery, you know what I'm saying? This is the area to be in. You know what I'm saying? Like I was on the game last night for a few hours, and a couple of the gamers was asking I was saying that I wasn't live, you know what I'm saying? And they was asking about this sector. I was telling them like, y'all really don't want to know about this sector. You know what I'm saying? This sector will drain you down to your last molecule, man. You know what I'm saying? If you allow it to. But other than that, man, I just respect everybody in this sector, man. I just want everybody to have a blessed day, and make it a positive one. Progress, build, do not tear down, because some people tear down bridges and burn them to where they can't even get across that bridge no more. So everybody, please stay up, man, and I'll catch y'all, a little bit later. I still got the Sugar Shack show, late night shows and stuff like that, but I just think everything that should be done in good timing. You know what I'm saying? And every time I want to do it, it doesn't be a good time. You know what I'm saying? So, time is everything. We live around time. Everything that we do um, resolves around time. So, Coco Butter said it's definitely a personal choice to get involved. Just don't let it change who you are. Yes, yes, very true. So y'all just stay up, man, and I hope this segment of the D-Lo Morning Show has enlightened others to at least go research their rights. Go read the amendments. You know what I'm saying? Just try. Of course, you're not going to memorize them all in one day. Try to memorize the first two. You know what I'm saying? And once you are able to, memorize the first two, then go to the next two. You know what I'm saying? Know your rights, man, because they are very important, and they come in handy. They come in handy. And it's time not to promise to anyone, make the best of what you are. Yes, you got to make the best of who you are and what you are. When you let someone change who you are, then you're just a follower. And it's a lot of followers. It's not enough leaders. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to be the leader that I am. You know what I'm saying? I believe I am a trendsetter. I believe that I have the voice that people will listen to. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I have a soothing voice. You know what I'm saying? To where I'm intelligent enough to where a person will want to listen to me, a person will want to interact of what I'm speaking about, and I try my best to only speak about things that we all have in common or um that we know about, because if we speak about something that one another don't know about, then it really ain't a conversation. It's really a debate. Everything that we do is a debate. But overall, man, I wouldn't want anything to happen to no one in this sector. You know what I'm saying? And I try to keep my humble ways as that. But other than that, man, like I said, I'm about to do some more positive things or some things to keep my mind off certain things. But I appreciate everyone has came here. Everybody has thumbs up. Everybody has thumbs down. You know what I'm saying? The support is always great. Sometimes it's good to speak to people that you have never met because they really can't judge you on your views. But other than that, know your rights. Peace and blessings. Your boy D-Lo One Stack is out.